got some silicone, clear silicone that we're going to spray on the inside so it slides nice and easy.
It's too deep. That makes sense. I just go 3A, which is the
So
next
they've numbered the CMUs and then the bricks are A, B.
It's this one, and it's alone, and these are more conceptual.
They're exactly correct, but one row of them is 180 degrees.
No, I noticed.
Yes, work and stuff is, and that was the biggest thing. You know, it's one of the things I discussed with Michael. I said to him, the problem with this one, unlike others, is that if we don't get these in on Saturday, it's got to be completed on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just have to work a little hard.
That's what I like to hear.
We'll go with the project early.
Yeah.
I have to talk to John again about it. Because he told me our cut blocks are coming tomorrow.
500 pieces in 2 days.
Would be best if we can
It's close to 1,300 pieces in one day.
Matrix of all the different sizes to streamline that process. So maybe we can look at the screen and I can show you kind of designs they made.
We're here on day one of the Masonry build construction at NJIT School of Architecture. The students are very excited to work with the Masonry professionals today and to start constructing their project that have been working for almost the entire semester. They've been focusing on studying the construction of bricks technique since the Roman time to possibly propose something new in terms of assembly and speciality in contemporary architecture.
So working with the Masons definitely like a very different perspective than when you're like just doing the drawings in studio. You see how everything's being built, the different workflows that happen, and how everyone kind of does things differently, and you like allow for flexibility. Just working with the Masons, it's just a different experience when you're actually building the things that you were drawing once before. In anticipation for this, there's all these things that we thought were going to happen that didn't happen, or like how certain people were going to work, but there's just some things you can't plan for, and you have to improvise on the spot.
It's been challenging, it went from, usually we start off with like small projects and, scaled models and we have problems, but now it's like, it's full-scale models and we have real problems and 2 days to do it. And so we started off with some issues, but, with the Masons help, it's been really interesting in solving these issues. And the Masons are awesome, they ask us for help. They don't just sit there and say, hey, you guys sit back with the Masons, let's do it. And they have a lot of questions and they work with us to do what we want to do. And they're really passionate about getting the stuff done and making it to the best of what we want it to be. So it's not just like they come here and do the job. It's more like, they're excited or just as excited as we are. So that's really cool.
It's very important. I mean, we came here early on Thursday afternoon and kind of went over some do's and don'ts, and they were right on the money with it. They actually followed great direction, and it kind of went both ways. They helped me out with a few things, but they did a fantastic job. These kids have been outstanding. It's probably the best team I've had. I say it every year, but these kids have been absolutely fantastic.
it's very interesting to see their concepts driven primarily through, first of all, ideas and then drawings, and then they gravitate towards physical models. So there's a lot of translation that happens just in those phases. And as soon as it kind of matriculates from the classroom out to the field, you start to translate those ideas with real logistical concerns, and the students learn a lot about the communication with the Masons. They learn a lot about how to translate their ideas into physical artifacts, physical manifestations of those ideas, and there's a lot of translation that happens in a sequence of small decisions. So it's always a very, very exciting learning curve for students, and we've had a great group this year. They work really well together, and just the energy level has been really inspiring to watch.
The materials we're using are
Standard brick.
majority of brick, 2 different sizes, pencil rods, and we're also going to add a stucco finish to the exterior to make it a solid monolithic structure. It's pretty good. It's going pretty smooth. Obviously, there's a few bumps in the road, but like we're working past it. You know, it really challenges us.
Nothing major.
Nothing major.
We haven't gotten to the hard part yet. So. The
arches and the pieces of domes that we have coming up.
Masonry is traditionally thought of as a static object, and so we really wanted to make it a dynamic one. The most obvious being that we put the bricks into motion through the moving screen panel, which also serves as the entry of the folly, and also the revolving bricks, which allows the users to really customize their experience inside the folly. And the second way we did that is by taking cut blocks, and the juxtaposition of solid and void allows for porous screens that create really interesting shadows and lighting inside, both inside and outside actually. Through all the challenges, to finally see it come together, it's been wonderful.
So we're working a lot quicker than the courses are going very smooth. The job is very clean. We're really happy with the laborers that we got.
It's a shock. You know, it's one thing that you're designing, you know it's coming. You know, yesterday I walked past, they're setting all this stuff up, and I could just feel my heart, like, oh my God, this is actually happening.
And
you know, they're actually going to build
right?
it.
And seeing something that you design being built is like a really good experience. Especially at this level, when we're second year, seeing something being built like this, it's like a very good experience for all of us.
You learn so much with actually building it. You know what I mean?
What was wonderful in this experience, the students recognized they needed to be flexible. They had been insistent on their design vision for this. Their integrity about that has really been admirable. But they recognized once the build began, they had to hear what the Masons had to say. Not that they weren't listening, but now respond to another set of reactions to things so that we could move forward.
The build is going very good. It's a complex project, a lot of vaults and arches. The students did very good mathematically getting it correct. They get to learn a little of the odds and ends on how the proper form work and false work for the arches. Doesn't always work the way they plan, but that's the whole point of it, so they can understand how it interacts with our end of the deal. That's the reason I come here, is so the students can appreciate what we do in the field, so they can understand the concepts that they're trying to put on paper and see how it actually turns out, big picture. I've been in the trade for 33 years, and watching the young kids just have their idea and their thoughts be presented, build it. I love to build stuff. I love to build stuff, and this is a challenge for us and them. It's a little contest between us foremen, but it's rewarding at the end of the weekend.
The Technique Award goes to Team Yellow. So the Folly Award goes to Purple. So the winner of the award called the Envelope goes to Team Red. So the winner of the Golden Trowel Master Mason Best in Show Award for 2017 goes to Team Yellow.